Hello, I'm Jim from Come Play With Us, and in this video I'm going to be doing a playthrough of Dawn of the Zeds 3rd Edition. As usual, I'll time box this video to about an hour and a half, so we'll get through as much as we can. I'm playing the short version of the solo game, so hopefully I can get through most of it. But I really just want to give you a general idea of how this game works and plays. And one of the things I want to show off about this game is how easy it is actually to play. Maybe if you've looked at this and thought, oh, maybe that's too complicated for me or anything, I want to show that, yeah, this game can be very complicated, but the way they have designed this game with the different levels, it can be as basic and easy as you want it to be, or it can be very complicated, and they allow you to scale it any way you like. So I want to show that off. There are a whole bunch of rule books in this game, but don't let that scare you off. There is so many rule books in this game because of the way they have scaled it to allow any type of player to play at this game. So if you want a very simple tower defense, zombie-themed solo game, and you're not interested in really a lot of complexity, there is the basic game. And the basic game consists of this basic game rulebook. And that is it. I mean, there's another book that goes through the setup, so the setup's not in here. You have to refer to the setup book because it has a setup for all the different levels. But basically, if you want just to play the basic game, a very simple tower defense game, it's an 18-page rule book with the appendix and like full-page examples and stuff like that. So not very complicated at all. So you could just start, and you should start with that when you're starting this game. You should start with the basic game, play that a couple of times before you start layering on the other systems. And the really cool thing about this game, with the way they have set it up and the different levels, I think there's 6 levels in all, is each level basically layers on new systems. And so you can just keep layering on the new systems until you're kind of at a complexity you're comfortable with, and you never have to go beyond that. I've actually owned this game for years. I really love it, played it a lot, but I've never gone beyond level 4, and I'm happy with that. One day I want to try, going to level 5 and 6, but I'm perfectly satisfied playing level 4, and sometimes I play below level 4 because I feel like more of a dice checking game and not thinking too hard, and this game allows you to do that. So for this playthrough, I am not going to be playing the basic game. I will be playing level 1. And so level 1 just layers on 2 systems on top of the base game, and that being the infection system and the healing system. And that's kind of the most basic game I like to play. So I wanted to show kind of like the simplest version that was still kind of interesting to me. Not that the basic game's not fun. It is fun, and it's quick and easy to set up and play. But I wanted to show a little bit of what this game can do, because it's a very thematic game, and I thought adding that level 1 was probably a good sweet spot between complexity and still showing some of what this game can do. Okay, so I've set up the game here, ready to go. I've picked my characters, and I've got the starting setup all here. You do start with kind of like a random setup of supplies and ammo, so this isn't fixed. So I'm starting with 5 ammo and 10 supplies. The way that works is you roll dice and you add them together to get your supplies, and then you subtract, I think it's 6 from the smallest number to get your bullets. And then my character, Mr. Johnson here, he added his kind of starting when he comes in ability is to add 2 supplies and 3 ammo, so that's why I've got so much supplies here. I'll note that these dice are not part of the game. The dice that come with the game, these are actually from Zombicide. I just like them better. The game dice here are kind of basic. I like the way these ones roll better, so I'm playing with special Zombicide dice, so these do not come with the game. Just for context, these are the dice that come with. They're just basic black dice. I don't find they roll very, very well, so I like to use the zombie dice. And these are more thematic. So these ones, the zombie head is a fail, or a fail. It's a 1, and the stick of dynamite is a 6, or at least that's how I play it. Okay, so I am starting with 4 characters. So we already talked about Johnson, but I'll go over their special abilities, what they do. So he's the scavenger ability, and of course I'll go through all these rules as I play. But he gets to roll 2 dice when forging. Normally you only get to roll 1, and then you pick the highest one die, and you're rolling on a chart for that. He's got this heavy weapons ability, which means his gunfire attacks receive a shift 2, which basically just means he's better at gun attacks. And I'll go through that system, of course, how the combat works and everything. He's got practical medicine. That means as an action, he can perform a heal action on any unit on or adjacent to his space, including himself, at a cost of 1 supply. Okay, so that's pretty big, because normally to heal somebody or to do a heal, you have to be in the hospital. He can do kind of like a heal in the field. And he's got this traps ability, so whenever a Zeds, which is a zombie basically, unit or a Zeds mob enters his space, he rolls a dice, and if he gets 1, 2, or 3, he can conduct a normal hand-to-hand combat, and if he gets a 4, 5, or a 6, that Zed unit or mob takes a hit, and he can withdraw by a space. So that's pretty cool. That's what he can do. And on the back of the card, it gives you a story for each of the characters. It's very thematic. It's cool, like how they got to where they are and what they're doing. And then it gives you kind of what the pieces that you need to assemble that character. Okay, second character I'm playing with is Captain Piazza. Okay, she is an elite sniper, so she can make long-range gunfire attacks. Her gunfire strength is based only on the range. So usually it's based on your strength, but it's based on her range. So from 3 spaces away, that she's a strength 3. From 2 spaces, she's a 4, and adjacent, she's a 2. And she has an Overwatch ability. So after she makes a gunfire attack, she may withdraw from her target by 1 space. Any player unit in her space may be moved with her, so she can help somebody with withdrawal, including Defiant civilians, which is pretty good because normally Defiant civilians won't move until they're attacked. So that's pretty good. And then she has ammunition crafting. So normally when you do a gunfire attack, you have to spend a bullet. But she can make her own ammo and then shoot. So if she spends 2 actions to make a gunfire attack using 0 ammo, this may be done multiple times per action phase. That is just awesome because normally, when you run out of bullets and your characters can't shoot anymore, she can still shoot, but she has to use 2 actions, but she can still shoot. And military, we ignore that because that's for a versus game. We're not playing a versus game. Okay, and then I got Mir Hernandez. He's got 2 special actions here. One's a game ability, and one's a round ability. So he's got keys to the city, so he can add +1 to all forged die rolls made by every other player and unit in a town or town center space. So that's pretty good. Traffic control. Entering town center costs a moving unit 0 move points. So you can enter town for free. The Citadel, once per action phase, he may spend his Citadel action marker to give a unit in town a free gunfire attack. It still costs an ammo, but it gets a shift 1. And then you place a Citadel marker on this card to keep track when you have used the ability. And he's got this once a game motivational speech. So once per game, he spend the motivational speech action marker to give a powerful gripping speech. Every other player unit in a town space inspired by it immediately receives 1 free action. Place the motivated speech marker on this card to remind you about that ability. So that's pretty good. Okay. And then we have Deputy Schmidt. His abilities, he's got initiative, so once per action phase, he receives a character action to spend on his unit only. Place the initiative marker on this card to keep track of when you have used this ability. So normally you get 1 hero player action per round, and then you get a number of actions that are given to you by whatever event card is played. I'll go over all that. But he gets his own special action, so he's going to get an action every round just for himself. He's got this Eagle Scout ability, so he receives a shift 1 on all hand-to-hand combat, so he's better at hand-to-hand combat, and he's tough. So if he gets hit, he gets to roll a dice, and on a 1 to 3, he suffers a hit normally, but on a 4 to 6, the hit is canceled. And then he's got martial arts. In every hand-to-hand combat, he is allowed 1 reroll, and then that result is final. And again, this last ability is to do with the versus game. We're not playing. Okay, and then I have this civilian unit here. These are heroic civilians. You'll get one of those to start the game. And I've got the Farmingdale Furies. And they're brawlers, so they can't make gunfire attacks. But each time they're hit, they have the same ability as a Deputy Schmidt there. If they get hit, they roll a die. And on a 1 to 3, the hit hits normally, and on a 4 to 6, it's canceled. So that's it for those guys. And they're really strong. So they'll see on the card it has their strength, their unwounded strength, and their wounded strength, and their move is here. So these guys are pretty strong for civilians. Usually civilians are about a 2 or 3, somewhere around there. They're 6. Okay, so all my characters start in town center along with the Furies, and then you all start with 1 civilian in town center. And then you've got some civilians out on the board here, and they're defiant, so they won't move until they're attacked there. They're, they think they're fine in their towns, and they don't want to move until, the threat arrives, and then they realize they have to move. Very thematic that way. So on the board, you'll notice there's 4 tracks on the board. And this is the tracks that the zombies will come back. So how this game works is it's a zombie apocalypse. We're defending the town center. We have this event deck here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 17 cards in the short game in the event deck. And basically we're just trying to survive till the end. So we got 17 rounds to survive. And how do you survive? Well, you just got to prevent the zombies from getting into town center. So if a zombie moves into town center, we don't even get to defend it. The game ends immediately and we lose. If we survive to the end of that last event card, then we win. That's as simple as that. And the zombies will start on these tracks on the outside here. Yeah, so I'll just go through the rest of the game as we go, but that's the basics of it. It's a zombie game, and we're just it's a tower defense. We're just defending the center of town and trying to last. And the rounds are pretty simple. You just draw an event card and execute it. Okay, and they get harder and harder as the game goes on. Okay, so we ignored this first part is for a higher level of the game. We're not using that one. So we can start by looking at the second one, and this is the infection phase. And this means we have to roll 2 dice. And if the die roll is equal to or less than the infection marker, then we're going to have a breakout. The infection marker right now is at 0, so that's not going to happen, so it's not even worth rolling the die for that. And then this next one we look at, we have to eat. So we have to eat, it's showing 1, so we have to reduce our supplies by 1. So we'll do that. And if you can't do that, you start taking hits. And then we're into the Zeds phase. So there's always usually an action or a special event that happens with the Zeds phase. Or here at the beginning of this phase, we have to place 1 new Zeds unit on an empty start space of our choice, if possible. Otherwise, place it on the start space of the lowest strength Zed units. If and when a Zed unit enters a space occupied by any civilians or hero unit this turn, you may freely retreat that unit instead of engaging in hand-to-hand combat. So that's actually kind of well, not good that the Zeds are coming out, but it's good that we can retreat instead of facing them. Okay, so this means that the yellow track is going to activate twice. So that's this track here. So yeah, we probably don't want to put the Zed unit here because we'll get a Zed unit out here. If a track activates and there's no Zed unit on a track, then one will show up. So we don't want to put it there. So we probably want to put it on one of these other tracks. So let's just go with blue, the blue track. And I have them in a cup here. So these are my regular Zeds. So I'll draw 1 here. So we got a 5 strength Zed, and they'll start on blue here. Okay. So that is the event part, and then we're going to do the action. So we got to activate yellow track twice. So there's no Zed on the track. So the first activation, again, we'll draw from our cup and place a Zed unit on the track, and we got 6 strength Zed. So they start here. Second activation, they'll move, and they move 1 per activation. And that's it for the Zeds phase. And then this last one basically tells you how many actions you have for this round. So I get 1 event action here that I can use. So that means I'll have 2 regular actions because you always have your 1 action. And maybe I'll keep this on the board so you can see that when I've used it. To use, so I'll have 2 general actions. And then, of course, I have this deputy who has his special action he can use. So, all total, I'll have about 3 actions to use. Okay, and you're supposed to discard this card at the end of the round, but I'll just discard it now because it's not going to come into play anymore. Okay, so now it's my turn. So I've got 2 actions, and I've got a cheat sheet here of all the actions you can do. So here's what we can do. We can move up to our movement number. We can forage, which is how we get more ammo and supplies. We can do a gunfire attack. We can heal if we're in a hospital bed, but of course we also have Mr. Johnson who can heal in the field. We can this build. This is only for the next level, so we're not playing the level with the barricades and stuff. We're not playing with research either. So yeah, that's it. We can do those are the things we do. Hand-to-hand combat happens automatically. It's not an action. It happens when you move into a square with a space with the Zeds unit. So there's no actual action for that. And then we've got free actions. So we can discharge somebody from a bed in the medical center, or we can equip, so once per turn, move a non-VIP refugee. Oh, we don't have refugees in here, so basically just discharge. So we don't have a ton of actions in level 1 of the game. Okay, so I probably want to, there's a couple things I probably want to do. I want to get, my ammo is pretty low, and I've got like a sniper, so I want to be able to, I want to have enough ammo for her to use. And Mr. Johnson here is good at foraging, and the mines up here are a good place to forage for bullets. So you've got a player aid here, and it tells you foraging, like what spaces are good for foraging what. So town and town center is good for, food at 4 or 5 when you roll, or food, you get a food or a bullet if you roll a 6 or better. On the farms, it's just good for food, and in the mine, it's good for bullets, and any other named space, which is a space that, this isn't a name space, but any name space that has like an actual name to it, then you for lower rolls you get a supply, and for 6+ you'll get a bullet. And normally you'll roll 1 die, but again, because Mr. Johnson is good at foraging, he rolls 2, and then he gets to pick the better result. So I want to get Mr. Johnson out to that mine, and he moves 4. So I'll use my action here to start getting him out there. Now he can't reach, there's 5 spaces, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to the mine. So he's not going to be able to get to the mine this turn. So I want to leave him where I can forage those. So let's bring him to the campground. That's a named space. So, he could get either a food or a bullet depending on how he rolls. And then I'm going to use my, yeah, I think I'll probably just leave him there. I'm not going to waste another action in foraging because really don't need supplies. So I don't want to waste an action where I'm most likely to get supplies. I want to work on the bullets, so I'll get him out there. Now I could use, I could use my second action to get him to the Lucky Strike mine, and maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'll do. I'll use this other action to get him to the mine. Let's just get him to the mine, and then next turn I can start foraging for bullets. Okay, so that's it for my 2 regular actions, and now I've got Deputy Schmidt. He's got his initiative action. I'll keep that out here too, so you can see it. And it has his picture on it. So I'll use his action to get him to start moving out to help defend. So I think maybe I'll move him out towards these guys maybe. And he moves. Most of the units move 4, so he moves 4. So I'll get them out 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll get them out here. And that's it for my actions. Now at the end of the turn, you just reset your actions, discard your event card, and then you just go on to the next round. That's a whole round. Okay, next round we got well-armed civilians. So we've got nothing for the infection. And then we got to eat 1 supply again. And now at the beginning of this phase, so the event is on this last phase now. So that's different than the last card. So we're going to do the Zeds. So we got to activate green and brown track, and neither of those has a Zed. So that basically 2 Zeds are going to come out. Gonna get one here, a strength 3 Zed there, and a strength 7 Zed there. So probably wanna. Well, I've got Mr. Johnson there to help there. Remember, he's got the heavy gunfire attack, so that's pretty good. Okay, so that's the Zeds phase. So now we're going to do the action phase. At the beginning of this phase, place the well-armed marker on any regular civilians unit in play until it ends up in the cemetery. That unit receives a shift 1 and all hand-to-hand and gunfire command. So that's pretty cool. So this is the well-armed thing. So I can pick one of these civilian units and make them well-armed. I think this one's got a 5. Well, actually, this one's got a 7 coming at it. But the thing is, he's only a 2 strength. And I kind of want... And, well, I guess they all got the same health. So, yeah, these guys... Probably these guys or these guys. Because they're both facing tough Zeds here. So maybe I'll go with these guys here. This flips over to remind you that it's a shift 1. And then you also get a shift 1 from when you're defending in the named spaces. Again, I'll go over that once we get to combat. And I got 2 actions for this round here. So it's variable how many actions you're going to get for each round. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Okay, so we got some nasty Zeds coming. So I think I want to probably shore up my defenses and get some of these guys out further, right? So it's good to kind of move out of the town. I don't need everybody sitting in town center. So probably spread out. So maybe I'll get my sniper out here. She's best when she's 2 spaces away. So if I park her here, then she can start working on these guys once they get here. So I think I will do that. She moves 5. She's actually can move more. So she can go 1, 2, 3, but I only need to move 4 because I want her to be here. Okay, so that's 1 action. Now, I did want to forage for bullets. So I'll use a second action to forage. Okay, so I'll roll 2 dice here. Looking for a 6 would be nice because you get 2 bullets with the 6. No, I got a 1 and a 3. So that is not going to be good for anything. Needed at least a 4. Okay, so that action was wasted basically. I do have my regular player action, so I think we'll move somebody else out. So I've got regular civilians here and these Furies. And maybe I'll move this Furies out. They can have only 2 defenders in a space at a time, and only 1 defender can defend or attack at a time, so you're just kind of back up. But I think I'll get the Furies out. The Furies move 4, just like most characters. So where do I want to park those guys? I've got 2 guys sitting here already. I basically got 2 guys in every place. But I do have this 7 coming up here, so I might need reinforcements that way. I'm going to put these guys at the campground. Okay, so that's it for my regular actions, and now I've got the deputy here, his actions. So I'm just going to move him in here, because he can do a gunfire attack. Oh, I guess the civilians could do a gunfire attack too, but he is better in hand-to-hand combat, and he has more strength than these guys, so I'm going to use him to defend, probably. Okay, so that's it for my actions. And that's it for another round. Okay, rolling infection, but again, infection hasn't moved up. It's still at 0. And, infection moves up when we get into hand-to-hand combat with a Zeds unit. When somebody dies and they end up in the hospital, infection goes up. There's these disease spreaders that can come out. They spread lots of disease. And that's it for level 1 here. So don't need to roll because again it's at 0. So for this eat here, basically you're rolling the die, and if it's less than or equal to the number of units you have in the hospital, then you have to feed 1. I have nobody in the hospital, so that's not going to happen. Okay, so then the event's happening on the Zeds phase again. So at the beginning of this phase, +1 infection per Zed unit on the mountain track. The mountain track is here, so we've got 1 Zed unit there, so the infection is going to go up 1. Okay, and then we place a new Zeds unit on the mountain track start space. Oh, so now we got 2 there. That's becoming a pretty bad track. So we got, ooh, and it's a 6 too. So we got 2 tough guys there. And now that's a mob. They'll move together. They can only have 2 in a stack, so that's as big as it can get. And defending units receive no terrain shifts, so yeah, so we have to ignore this terrain shift when defending this turn. And the brown track is going to activate, so they're going to move up 1. So that's pretty nasty. And then we do the action phase, and I get 1 action. Ugh, not great. So, what do we want to do here? I guess we'll probably just defend those guys. So, let's do another forage with Mr. Johnson. I'll hope to get some bullets. We want to get our bullets up. So better roll this time. Oh, I got a 6 and a 4. So, the 6 on the mine will give me 2 bullets. So, that's good. And if I roll doubles on that die, I get double the reward. If I roll doubles. No, if I get a reward. Okay, so that's 1 action. So that's this action here. And, okay, so what else do I want to do? This guy's not in range of her yet, so I'm not going to shoot, and he can only shoot 1. So mostly in this game, I like to wait for the Zeds to come to me. It's better to defend than to go out and attack in general, unless you're doing like a ranged attack. So I'll let them come to me. So I'm just going to continue to defend here. So I might want to get those Furies up. These guys are tougher, so you know I might want to get them. Even though these guys got a shift 1, like a shift 2 is good, but it'll give me the choice of what to do with those. So I think I'll use my action to move them up to here, just so I've got a bit more defense right at the front there. And then I've just got this guy's action left. It's not in range yet, so there's not much he can do, but he could forage. So it's never a bad idea to forage. And he got a 1, so no good. Didn't get anything. Okay, that's it for this round. Next event. Okay, right beneath our feet. So we're rolling doubles, 2 dice for the infection again. I'm not going to bother because it's not going to happen. Nothing for the eat. And then the Zeds action at the beginning of this phase, make a fate draw. And select any civilians or hero unit on the fated track, but do not in town center or on the start space. It immediately suffers a Zed's hand-to-hand attack on the equal to column with normal infection increase, terrain shift, etc. If it was, a defiant civilian unit is no longer defiant. Your unit suffers losses only and does not retreat. Okay, so how you make a fate draw, there's this fate deck. You're going to draw a card. And it said on the fated tracks at the top here, it's going to give you a track. So this says the forest, which is this forest track is up here. So somebody on the forest track is going to get attacked, basically is what that card meant. At an equal to, so I'll get to go through combat, so that'll be these guys here. Now with these fated cards, you have to look at the event too. So there's 2 types. They're good and bad. The bad ones you play immediately, and the good ones you can save and use them whenever you want. This is a bad one. So it says immediately suffer -2 supplies and -1 ammo. No penalty if you do not have enough to lose the entire amounts. So I'm going to lose 2 supplies and an ammo. That sucks. Okay. And then these guys are going to take an equal hand-to-hand attack. So every time you get a hand-to-hand attack from a Zeds unit, you increase infection. Okay, and so the way hand-to-hand combat works is we have this chart, and you're basically counting the strength of the Zeds versus your strength. It says we're doing it equal to. Okay. Now when you're defending, I'm defending in a town that has these symbols on these spaces that says shift 1 right. Means I got a bit of a bonus when I'm defending. So on an equal to, the way this works, you look at the equal to column, that's the strength, I get to shift one right, so that means I get to roll on human advantage. So I got a bit of an advantage in this roll. And I roll 2 dice, and then I'm just going to look up the damage on there. And in this one, the Zeds aren't going to take a damage. I'm just looking to see if I get any damage. So I'll roll my dice here, and I got a 5, which is not a great roll. So I got a 5 on the human advantage here. So 5 or 6 is an equal. So how you read this is because, so in the normal, we would each take 2 damage. And then you see that the red is highlighted, or the white. In this case, the red is highlighted. So that would mean if this was an actual combat, the Zed units lose the fight, and they would have to retreat. If it's the white, then our units lose the fight, and we have to retreat. So we're just going to take 2 damage there. So how does the damage work? So you can see on this token, we've got a little heart and then the flip sign. So we take 1 damage, we would put a heart, a damage token on here, and then the second damage means we have to flip this token over, which is bad because when you flip it, your strength goes down, and that means I only have 2 health left. Generally, these guys have 4 health, so you knocked him down by half, and he's not as powerful anymore. So that's how hand-to-hand combat works. Okay, so that was just the event, and now we got to do the activation. So we're activating the blue, the yellow, and the brown track. So the blue is down here, so these guys are going to move up 1. Brown is these guys. That's bad, so they're going to attack there. And then the yellow are these guys here, and they're going to attack here. So I'm taking 2 hand-to-hand attacks. Okay, so we'll have to resolve those right away first. So we'll do this one up here first. So start by taking an infection because it's a hand-to-hand Zed's attack. Now I can only defend with 1 character. I've got 2 there, so I can either defend with these guys. Now if I defend with these guys, they have that shift right, and because I'm defending, I get the terrain shift right. So I get a shift 2 right, which is pretty good, even though their strength is only 2, and these guys' strength is 6. So that's the other thing I got to look at. So their total strength, you got to add their strength together. So their strength is 13, which is nasty. So that's a ×2 Zed's advantage if I'm fighting the Furies here. These guys, it's all the way ×3. Is the worst you can get is ×3. So that's this column, but I get a shift 2. So we would be on Zed's advantage. If I go with the Furies as the defenders, that's a ×2 shift 1. So it's the same basically. Furies but the Furies are a bit more resilient because they have that tough attribute. So I think I'll go with the Furies. Zeds are at advantage here. We'll roll my dice, see what happens. Okay, so that's a 6, remember. So I got 10. That's a good roll. Generally, you want to roll high. So Zed's advantage here, a 10 or 11. Means the Zeds are taking 2 damage. I'm taking 1, and the Zeds are losing. Okay, so I get to pick how to spread out my damage. I'm going to hit the... Now, they're taking 3 damage before they flip, unfortunately. But I'm going to put the 2 damage on the 7. And I take 1 damage. I'll take my damage here. And they lost the fight, so they have to retreat back from where they came from. So that's how that works. If we'd lost, then we'd have to retreat back towards town. And we'd all retreat back. So even though it's only 1 defender defending, everybody in the space has to retreat. Okay, and now because this space was attacked, these guys are no longer defiant. They lose that as soon as the space gets attacked. Okay, so that's that combat. Okay, and then we got this combat down here. So again, increasing infection. This is a 6 versus a 2. So that's a 3 times again and a shift 1. So that's a 2 times Zed's advantage. Not good. So roll again. This one's probably not going to go as well. Ooh, I got an 8. Not too bad. So 2 times Zed's advantage. And we got an 8 or 9. So Zed takes 1 damage. I take 2 damage, and I lose the fight. So I got to retreat. So Zed, 1 damage. These guys take 2. So they're going to flip. They're no longer defiant, which means they can move now, and they're going to retreat back to here. Now this is Zed's territory. Okay. And that's the 2 fights that were on the board. Okay. Yeah, not so great. These guys are tough too. So we got some really tough Zeds on the board right now. Only one weak one up here. Okay, so that's the end of the activation. And now I get 2 actions from the action phase. Okay, so I might want to do something about those guys. We'll see how that goes, but I might need to bring reinforcements there because this guy's not really moving much. Maybe I should bring her, but she moves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to take her a while to get over there. So we'll see how that goes. This guy basically the mayor, you kind of keep him in town center. Okay, so I mean, I can shoot these guys from here. He's a strength 4, so that's not too bad. Take a shot there. Also, oh no, that guy's way up there. He's not in range really yet. And I can't move Mr. Johnson in because you can only have 2 guys in a space at the same time. So if I moved him in, I have to move somebody out. Okay, so I guess I'll do my usual forage with Mr. Johnson. Try to keep foraging for bullets because I'm going to need them. And I rolled doubles, but I rolled 2s, so 2s don't help me. So that was a fail. And the other thing is Mr. Johnson heals adjacent spaces. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my second action to heal. He has to spend a supply, and then I can heal these guys because they're in an adjacent space. So that helps. So it's good to have him hanging back there, healing up. Okay, so I still have these 2 actions. I think I'm going to use his action to take a shot. So we'll see how gunfire works. So he's a strength 4. And gunfire is a little simpler. You just look at your strength and you roll along your strength. So I'm ditching those dice. I'm going to take some new dice because those dice aren't rolling good right now. 8. So I got an 8 on the 4 strength gunfire attack. And of course I spent my bullet. So 8 here on a 4 strength, that does 2 damage. So there's no win or lose in the gunfire, just how much damage you do. So I did 2 damage to that, so that's pretty good. Soften them up a bit. And I still have 1 regular action left. So 1 more action. Yeah, maybe I should start moving these guys out that way because I'm probably going to need them to go out that way. Now the civilians, here's a civilian rest. They only move 2. They're kind of slow. But let's move them out. So they're not really doing much there. I mean, I could they get a shift 2 if they're sitting here. So maybe I'll put them there. That might be a better space for them to sit in. A bit more defensive there. Okay, so that's it for all my actions. Next event here. Okay, so these are really bad. These exclamation ones. You gotta be kidding. Okay, so we got no infection. We got the eat roll, but I don't have anything in the hospital, so I don't have to worry about that yet. This means all the Zeds on the board are going to activate. Doesn't matter what track they're on. Okay, so at the beginning of this phase, place a new Zed units on the start space of every track. Apply the stacking limit. Can only be a stacking limit of 2. And then remove all hit markers from Zed units. Oh, man, this is just the worst. So all my damage is undone here. Okay, so let's put a new Zed on every track. This is where things go bad. There. So that's why it's good to try to get the Zeds flipped here. Okay, and they're all gonna heal. That is nasty. Okay. And now they're all gonna activate. Okay, so let's do this in the right order here. So I'll start with the blue and I'll go around this way. Okay, so the first of these guys are gonna move in here and attack. These guys are gonna come in behind. These ones will move in here and attack. These ones will come in behind. These 2 move as a group. These 2 attack as a group. These guys will come in behind. Okay, so they're all activated. So now I'll do the combats. Okay, so start with this one. Move the infection up 1. This is a 5, so I got to pick who's defending. I'm going to pick Deputy Schmidt here because he is good at, he's an Eagle Scout, so he's good at the hand-to-hand combat. So he's going to get a shift 2 because he gets a shift 1 in all hand-to-hand combats, and we'll get shift 1 for defending. Now, it's a 5 versus a 4, so that's just a Zed's advantage with a shift 2. So Zed's advantage, shift 2 is human advantage that we're rolling on. Ooh, 2, that is the worst roll I could have rolled. Throw those dice away. Okay, so human advantage 2. I'm taking 3 damage. He's gonna be dead. Unless I can roll good here now. So I got this toughness. So each time I receive a hit, I roll this and I either suffer that hit normally or it's canceled. So I got 3 hits here. So yeah, I guess I'll roll 3 times. So let's just roll 3 dice and we'll see how many of these we get canceled. I need 2 of them canceled or I'm out. Oh, that guy's dead. So I got a 6, a 3, and a 1. So I only canceled 1 of those hits. So he's taking 2 hits. These guys only take 2 hits. So he is out. So now I got to make a saving roll. So you're not automatically dead. You do get to roll a saving roll. And it's all referenced here on your thing. So saving roll, 1, 2, 3, we go straight to the cemetery. We're dead. 4, 5, and 6, we go to the hospital. And infection goes up. Oh, wait a minute. On every hand-to-hand combat, I'm allowed to reroll. Oh, that is very important. Okay. I'm definitely re-rolling that. I forgot about my reroll. Do not forget about your special abilities. Yeah, so deputy, that's the other reason Deputy Smith is good, because he gets to reroll. Okay, so let's reroll that. I can't do worse than 2. I could just re-roll 2 again. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so back to that plan. So now I gotta roll. I'm gonna throw those dice in the garbage. Okay. So I got a saving roll 3. So he's just straight out dead. Into the cemetery. Cemetery's over here. Okay, so I already lost the guy. Schmidt is out. That is some terrible rolling. Okay. Okay, so we lose this fight quite badly, so these guys are no longer defiant. And they're clearing out of here. And the Zeds will move in. Okay, so that's 1 combat. Second combat is this one here, so infection goes up. This is a 6 versus 1 with a shift 1, so it's going to be 2 times Zeds. 2 times Zeds, and I rolled a 9 on that one. So 2 times Zeds of 9, so I'm still losing this one. They're taking 1 damage, and I'm taking 2 damage. So this guy is also dead. They're just taking 1 damage. And do a saving roll. Those guys. 2. Nope, they're also dead. So that's not going well this round. These are the worst cards, these exclamation cards. The absolute worst. No fight up there, so now we got this fight. So again, I'm going to do the Furies there. They're pretty tough. So it's a 13 versus a 6. Shift 1, so that's times 2, shift 1, so it's going to be Zed's advantage on that one. Okay, need a better roll here. Come on, better roll. Roll good. 5. It's not going our way. Okay, so Zed's advantage 5. We're taking 3 hits. They're only taking 1. Okay, the Furies are just like, they're tough too, so every time we receive a hit, we get to roll. So again, I'll roll, taking 3 hits here. So I'll roll 3 dice. See if you get to erase any of those hits. I get to erase 2 of those hits, so I'm only taking 1 hit. That is the good news. And we're all retreating back. So now, one of stacking limit is being surpassed. So we're going to have to push somebody back. So I think I will push. I kind of like him there. So let's push the Furies back. Maybe I'll start hitting these guys here. Okay, so I think that's everything. So not a great Zeds phase for me. And to top that all off, we get one whole action here. Okay, so let's fight back. I'm gonna get Mr. Johnson up there to use his heavy gunfire to attack that space. We gotta reduce those guys down quite a bit. So he is a strength 3, but he gets a shift 2. So basically the way that works is he's a 3 shift 2 right, so he's going to be 5. So he's actually better than the sniper. He just can't shoot as far. And a 4. Man, not getting the good rolls here. Oh, I guess I forgot I gotta take my action here. And spend a... Did I spend my bullet? I spend a bullet. Can't remember if I did. So 5, I rolled a 4. So he still gets 1 hit. So it's not a total loss. Let's continue working on those guys. Use another bullet. And another action. Let's hope for a better roll here. Got a 7, that's a bit better. 7 on the 5 track, so that's going to be 2 hits. So we will get to flip this guy. So you're better off flipping, like as you saw. Leaving damage tokens on Zeds sometimes backfires on you. Okay, so that's it for my regular actions. I don't have the bonus action anymore because Deputy is dead. So that is it for my turn. Okay, Highway Night Assault. Hey, we're rolling 2. Okay, so now we got to roll on the infection here because we've got quite a bit of infection there. So let's see what happens. So I rolled an 8. That is higher than the 6, so we're okay still on the infection. Then I got to eat 1. Eat 1, and then at the beginning of this phase, +1 per Zeds unit on the highway track. So we've got 2 there, so this is going up by 2. Then we place a new unit on the highway track start space. This is going bad fast. And then we lose our defense of shifting, which we don't actually have because we're not in the namespace anymore. And then that track's going to activate twice. So not great. So these guys are going to attack. These guys are going to move up 1. So that's the first activation. So let's finish the first activation. So we got an attack here. This is a Zeds advantage, and I got no shifting. So it's just a pure Zeds advantage. Get some new dice in there. Dice aren't working for me. Still not working for me. Alright, so we got 3 on a Zeds advantage. Is not going to go well. Man, I'm rolling really bad. So they're going to take 3 hits. So that's going to flip these guys. And we're keeping backing up here. And this track's going to activate again, so they're going to get attacked again. These are moving up. Faction moves up again. So now it's at 2 times, but we got to shift right. So it's set as advantage. I gotta find me some good dice here. None of these dice are working. Let's try these ones. 6. I don't think 6 is going to help me on his Zeds. I think, 6 Zeds advantage. Yeah, I'm taking 3. So that guy's dead. Did do 1 damage to the Zeds unit. This guy is going to have to do a saving roll. One did not get saved. So we're down 3. Wow. Down 3 guys this early in the game. This is a pretty poor start. Not getting the best rolls right now. Okay, and then I got one action here. Also, I'm not getting a lot of actions from these cards. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Oh man, okay, so this is undefended. I don't really have any reinforcements over there. I guess I can bring the Furies over. Try to bring the Furies down to that. Get the Furies here and we'll make a last stand there. I think that's probably my best thing. So first let's heal those Furies because I've got Mr. Johnson there. So do an action, spend a supply. Let's heal, get these guys healed up. And then I'll spend my other action and get those Furies moving. They move for 1, 2, 3, 4. Too bad I didn't have one more move because I want to put them here. Because being in here is useless, basically, because you can't defend. If they move into town, you don't get to defend. Okay, that's it for my round. Okay, so Zeds disease quickening. So we got an infection roll. This one's not... We actually probably want an infection to happen because if this gets to this here, we'll automatically trigger an infection, and that will give us a super Zed rather than a regular outbreak, which is even worse. So probably want this to trigger. Okay, so I rolled a 3, which is lower. That's actually not great. We want to roll high, like just below, because the way this works is it's below, so it's going to trigger the infection, and you reduce the infection rate by what you rolled. So this is only going down 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we go through the infection process. So it's the first time we've had to do this. Okay, so we got an outbreak. I guess we did that already, so we're going to reduce by what we rolled, and then we do a fate draw for the location track. So now we fate draws. Okay, this is a good card, so that's good. So the fated track is going to be fewest Zeds units. So where do we have the fewest Zeds units? We've got 3 on this track, 2, 2, and 2. So 3 of them are tied, in which case we get to choose one of those tracks. And so this is some civilians get organized. So I can hold this for later and play at the beginning of any phase or before any combat to place the civilian's leader marker on a regular civilian's unit until it ends up in the cemetery. That unit receives a shift. So this is kind of like what I have on that. Where'd he go? That guy up there, yeah. Like the well-armed guys. So this is very similar. So yeah, I'll want to use that at the beginning of the next. So I'll use that right away. So I'll just leave that out. Okay, so I got to pick the track that this is going to... Outbreak's going to happen on. And let's see remind myself what the outbreak is. Okay, so when we do the outbreak, we place a Zeds unit. Like I said, if we would have gotten here, it would have been a super Zeds unit, which is they're even worse. Now it says in the chaos space closest to town center, but we're not playing with the chaos mechanic because we're only playing level 1. So then it'll be the village space closest to town center. And village spaces are the spaces that have this like village symbol on them. So it'll go either here or here, which would be really bad. Oh no, that one's 3. So it's got to be one of these 2 tracks. These tracks have 2. So it's this track or this track. So I can place it here or here. These guys are already... Oh, these guys shouldn't be defined anywhere. They got attacked. Neither of those spaces is great, but at least I've got my sniper sitting here. So, let's put it here. Okay, so that's going to increase infection. And so that's a 2 times with a shift right. So that's a Zed's advantage. Oh, yeah, and then... oh, yeah, so I'll use my card to bolster those guys. So those guys will get the civilian leader thing. And again, it's a shift right. So it just gives you a reminder there. Shift right. So we got a 2 shift right. So now it's an equal. That's a bit better roll. So an equal roll. Hopefully they don't die here. 7. Still not rolling great. 7's not too bad. Equal. Well, that's 2 and 2. So they are going to die, but at least we won the fight. So they're taking 2. We win the fight, so they have to retreat. These guys are dead right away. Well, might not necessarily. They could save. I haven't saved a roll yet, but it could happen. Could happen. I did save them, so they're not totally gone. Of course, infection goes up when you go into the hospital, so they retain the civilian leader until they're in the cemetery. So they're not in the cemetery; they're here. So when you save them, they go in the hospital on their damage side, and they get this EKG marker. Okay. So how this works is now I can spend an action on my turn to remove the EKG marker, and then I can use a free action to just put them in town center and get them out of the hospital, or I could keep them in the hospital and keep using actions to heal them back up. One damage at a time. Okay, so that was just the outbreak. Now we got to do the eat. So the eat, now we got somebody in the hospital, so we got to roll. We actually have to roll that. So we don't want to roll a 1, I think, is what we don't want to roll. Good. Okay, and now this, at the beginning of this phase, make a fate draw. So that's 2 fate draws in one turn. Place a new Zed units on the start of the fated track, and then during this turn for each regular civilians unit eliminated or sent to the hospital after its saving roll, place a new Zed unit on the space where it was killed. Okay, that's great. Okay, so new Zed unit's going to show up on the mountain track. Here. And this is a bad one. I got to play it right away. So the Living Dead, St. Thomas Historic Graveyard bursts with undead. Place 2 new regular Zed units as a Zeds mob on the St. Thomas village space, applying the stack limit. Oh man, this just goes from worse to even worse. St. Thomas is right here. Oh, an 11. Oh, I gotta start working on that. Okay. And then blue is going to activate and green twice. Oh man, we're just so dead here. So blue activates first. That one's not too bad. But green twice, I mean, this is just... So, she's getting attacked. Those guys. Moving here. These guys are moving here. She's only... That's 11 versus 3. Let's see. I don't think she's not very good. Yeah, she's not very good on her own like that. So 11 versus 3, so it's a times 3. She gets a shift right, so it'll be Zeds times 2. She might be dead. 5, yeah, she's probably dead. Zeds times 2 on a 5. Yeah, she's just taking 3 damage. Yeah, she is dead. So I'll do a saving roll. She is saved. So she goes into the hospital. An EKG. This goes up. Okay, so at least I didn't lose her, but then this is going to activate again. We are close to losing. I have to shore that stuff up real quick. Okay, so I'll probably use my motivational speed this because we're in kind of dire straits here. Okay, so that's all done, but at least this time we get 3 actions. So we can actually do something. So let's use one of these actions to remove her EKG meter. Use a second action to heal her. And I'll use a free action to get her to town center, because we are going to need her. Okay, so then I'm going to use this once the mayor's ability. So he has this once a game ability to do the motivational speech. So I'm just going to put that there to show that I've done it. And once per game, he may spend his motivational speech action marker to give a powerful gripping speech. Every other player unit in a town space inspired by it. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this isn't player unit. Okay, player unit in town space inspired by it immediately receives 1 free action. Okay, so that's any of my units that are in a town space. So basically these 4 units receive a free action. So I need to move her here. And move this guy here. Shortest those guys up. It's these 2. I mean, he's not... I'll just leave him in. He's not too tough, so I'll leave him in the center. But I can do 2 free forage actions. So I'll just roll 2 dice here for those. Let's see what I get here. So I got a 6 and a 1. So one of those town center forage actions. So we get a supply. Oh no, sorry, you get a supply or a bullet. You're gonna need the bullets. I'll take the bullet. You know what, before I move her here, I'm gonna save her free action. I'm gonna use the Mayor's Citadel action. Because that gives, from town center, it gives me a free shot out of shift 1. I still have to use the bullet, but I might as well do that. Because she can shoot 3 ahead, right? And she's a 3 strength from 3 away, but the shift 1 makes her a 4 strength. That's pretty good. Let's do that before I move her. So that's a free. So she got a 9. So 4, 9, that does 2 hits. Let's just work on tough guy here. Okay, now I'll move her for free here. Okay, and now she's 2 away. So she gets she's a 4 strength from that far away. So I'll use another action, another bullet. Let's take another shot. I got a 7. 7 on the 4 is 2 hits again. So flip that one. I've yet to kill anybody in this game. I still got my general action. Where else am I in trouble? Everybody else I just kind of gotta wait. I really gotta work on this track, so I think I'm just gonna do that again. So hopefully I can take at least one guy out. She's not very good at defending hand to hand. Oh, 10, there we go. Finally got a good roll. 10 on the 4 track, that's 3 hits. So, could kill that guy. Well, I guess I could spread those out. So I could do 2 to take this guy out. Do 1 here. Finally got somebody taken out. Okay, so that's all my actions. Okay, Forest Night Assault. We do the infection roll again. This is not going to go well. 9. Okay, so we're going to get another breakup. At least this goes down by 9 this time. Another fate draw. Another bad fate draw. Okay, so this is going to be where we have the most Zeds units, which is this track. Oh, this is the track where I don't want it. And I got to play this for the rest. I got to place a new Zed units on the campground space. Alright, so campground space here, and the outbreak one is going to go. Okay, so this is going to go into this. This is the closest village space to city, so that's where it goes. Now we're beyond our stacking limit. So how this works is when you go beyond, you move the lowest strength unit back. Yay. Okay, now we got to do the eat. So you just don't want to roll a 1. Got a 4, so we're okay. And now at the beginning of this phase, +1 per Zed unit on the forest track. We got 5 guys on the first track. They're just place a new Zed units on the forest track start base. It's usually not this bad. This is just an unusually punishing game. And we got no terrain shift help this turn, but we're only activating once, so that's good. They're not getting to me. Okay, and then we're gonna get 2 actions. Okay, we're in all kinds of trouble everywhere. Running on bullets here. So let's hope Mr. Johnson gets a good roll. Get the mine to get some bullets. Didn't he got a 4, so he did get a bullet. Got 2 more actions left. What do we want to do? Well, let's keep shooting. So let's do the Mr. Johnson shot up here. So he gets the 5 strength roll. Oh, I should shift out some dice. Get some better dice going here. There we go. That's an 11. 11 on the 5. That's 3 hits. So let's take this guy out. Okay. And then we've got her here. Now she's not great from 1 away. She only had 2 strength from 1 away. Ugh. She's actually better in the town. Well, she's better for shooting from the town center, but well, I guess she can shoot at this guy back here. Yeah. Yeah, because then she's 4 strength from 2 spaces away. That's the sweet spot. So yeah, let's do that. Bullet. Out of bullets now, but at least she's shooting from the 4. Oh, another 11. That's great. 2 good rolls in a row. That's another 3 hits. That's to this guy here. So 1, 2 flips it, and a 3. Okay, I got 1 action left. Got no bullets left, so she would need 2 actions to take another shot to get the free bullet. But yeah, Mr. Johnson, let's use. Oh, I got 2 actions left. Did I? How many? Oh yeah, because I had 3 actions this time, so I got 2. No, I had 2 actions this time, so I forgot to spend an action there. Okay, so let's do some more foraging. Hopefully, get some more bullets. Got a 4 again, so get 1 more bullet. Okay, next event. Mine explosion. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. Okay, so we got no infection, no eating. And so at the beginning of this phase, check the mine space. Yeah, that's where we're sitting. Units there suffer 1 hit and immediately retreat. Man, this game just gets worse and worse. No unit can enter that space for the rest of this turn. Place the no entry marker in that space as a reminder. If forced to retreat into the space, a unit must instead retreat to the next available space. Mine exploded. Guess we were a little careless mining there. Okay, and then brown, yellow, and blue are activating. So brown, well, I guess they can't go into there. They can't move into there. So that helped me a little bit. So these guys can't move into there, so they stay there. These guys will move up here. Okay, and then yellow. Okay, so we're gonna attack here. These guys move here. And then blue. These guys are just moving up. Train here. Okay, so these guys, infection will go up 1. It's a 3 times with the shift right once, so it's a 2 times. And I got a 6 on the 2 times. It's not going to go well for me. 2 times 6. So that's just 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And they will retreat. No longer defiant. Okay. And that's it, right? Yep. Okay. And then we get 2 actions. I got to 1 bullet here. Okay, so let's take her shot. Oh, she got 11 again, so that's another 3 damage. That's gonna take this guy right out. Okay, clawing back. Okay, that was so sorry. They're supposed to use an action for that too. Okay, so she's not good at shooting the guy just adjacent there, so I'll probably stand my ground there. Now, Mr. Johnson, I guess he can shoot into this space. Oh, but we don't have any bullets and we can't mine. Not good. That's a 6. That's a strong guy, and it's defending. Yeah. Oh, shoot. They got past me, so I gotta get somebody here. Yeah, I'm in a tough spot here. So I guess the mayor is gonna have to do some fighting for me. Let's just get him here. And I got 1 more action. Well, let's start healing this guy up. Get that guy back. Get him back into action. Yeah, and let's maybe just get him out right away. That's all my actions. In the dead of night. Okay, I'm gonna do a infection roll. 10, so we're safe. Don't have to do the eat roll because I got nobody in the hospital right now. And at the beginning of this phase, we're going to do 1 infection per Zed units on the highway track. So we've got 3 on the highway track. That's not good. And a new Zeds unit on the highway track. All kinds of death coming our way. And defending units don't get any shifts. That's always fun. And then blue's going to activate, and then green. Yeah, of course, I put him here on this nice shift 2 spot. That is going to be useless. So he's getting attacked. And move green as well. She's getting attacked. Okay, so let's start with the blue. Okay, so it's a 5 on 6. At least it's a human advantage there. Would have been really nice with the shift 2. But let's hope we keep rolling well here. Human advantage. No, 11 again. Those dice are hot. So human advantage with 11. That's 3 damage to the Zeds. And they lose. So 1, and then flip for 2. And then 3 damage. And they retreat back to here. But we got a mob there now. Okay. Oh, sorry. The infection should have gone up. Oh. I had another fight somewhere, didn't I? Oh yeah, she's fighting too. So infections. Oh, we're almost gonna get a super Zed. Super Zeds are not fun. Okay, so that's a 5 on 3. So that's a Zed's advantage, but a shift 2 right. So Zed's advantage, shift 2 right. It's human advantage. Let's hope these dice continue to be hot. They do not. 6. 6 for a human advantage is equal 2 and 2, but that kills her. So we're going to have to do a saving roll. So 1, at least it's flipping. At least we win, so it retreats back. She takes 2, so she's got to do a saving roll. And she did not save it this time, so we lose her. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Sniper. Sniper is gone. My band of merry men is dwindling. Okay, so now I gotta shore that up. Well, it's a good thing I got this guy out because I can put him in there to shore that up. Okay, and then I'm gonna get 4 actions. Good, because I really need them. I think how many turns we got left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I gotta survive 7 more turns. I am more than halfway through the game though. So 7 more turns. Okay. So what are we going to do now? Okay, so I don't have my sniper. I'm gonna need some bullets, but I don't have my mine. Oh, the mine. So the mine space is free. So probably want to spend an action to get back here. I want to spend an action to heal. And then I need to forage. Need some bullets. Got a 6, so that gets me 2 bullets. Perfect. And see, let's shoot. So I'll do my heavy shot. So that's a 5. Mr. Johnson here. The 9. Not bad. So the 9, that's 3 hits. So that will take this guy down to a 4. So that's not too bad. Always good when you can flip the tokens because they don't flip. They heal, but they don't flip. Okay, so I got 1 more action left. Well, let's just keep shooting, man. Let's just. Oh, sorry, I forgot to spend my bullet. Let's just keep shooting. I gotta. 8. 8 on the 5 track is again 3. So it takes that guy out. Okay. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Super Zeds here. Oh, I keep forgetting. This one should be 1 less. So 1 real life. I don't know if I said that, but whenever you heal in here, you're supposed to reduce the infection by 1. So I did do, I think, 3 heals. So I did 1 heal on him. I did 2 heals on her. So this should have gone down by 3. So it should actually be there. Totally forgot about that. Sorry. Yeah, so that's the end of this round. Live to fight another day. Tough Zeds. That doesn't sound good. Okay, so we're going to do the infection roll. 9. Okay, so we got an outbreak. At least that goes all the way down. Do our fated draw. So it's going to be my choice. Oh, and I got a hold for later. Good card finally. Play when a player unit begins a hand-to-hand fight. So I get a shift 2. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Want to hang on to that. Okay, so I get to pick where the Zed goes. So where do we want it? And it's going to go on the closest village. So there's no real great options. Although the closest village on this track is way down here. So let's do that because that's like way far down. Take them a while to get up to me. So outbreak there. Eat 1, I don't have to worry about that. Oh no, eat 1, I do have to worry about that. I'm getting low on supplies. At the beginning of this phase, place a new Zed on the mountain track start space. Place the tough marker on the strongest regular Zed unit until eliminated for each hit it takes. Oh man, now it's got a tough zombie. Okay, this one starts here, and then we're gonna have a tough zombie. There you go. Tough zombie. So you see the token says tough, but it's got a reminder of what it does on the back. Cancel hit on a roll 1, 2, or 3. So I got to put this on the strongest zombie. Of course, the strongest one. Which would be this guy here. This nasty guy over there, that 8. Okay, and then the mountain track's going to activate twice. So once. So we're going to get a fight there. Okay, so this, put the infection up 1. So this is Zed's advantage, but a shift 1, so it's equal. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. Mr. Johnson has the traps, so when a Zed move into his space, I can roll a die. I don't know, 4, 5, or 6. It takes a hit, and I get to retreat. So let's see, 6. Okay, perfect. I really like Mr. Johnson's a really good one. That guy takes a damage, and then I get to retreat 1. Of course, now I'm fighting it on worse footing, but oh no, but I get to do that again. So every time it moves into my space, I believe. Yep. So did I move? I moved those. So now we're gonna get a fight here. Another fight here. These guys are gonna move up here. Okay, so we'll start with this fight here. Another infection. So that's a 3 times, but I got a shift 2. So 3 times shift 2 is Zed's advantage. Seven. Zed's advantage. 7 is I take 2 hits and it takes 1. But I lose, right? Yeah, I lose. 1. Oh, 2 hits. That's not great because that kills me. Unless I can make a save, which I do. It goes into the hospital. And we're about to lose. Infection goes up 1. Okay, and now I'll do the trap first. Looking for a 4, 5, or 6 here. Nope, didn't get it. So we are into hand-to-hand combat. This is just total Zed's advantage. 3. Oh man, we're in big trouble there. Zed's advantage on a 3 is I just take 3 hits. I'll do the saving throw. Oh, saved him. So infection's gonna go up 1. Hospital is filling up. I'm just gonna have to. Okay, and these guys gotta retreat. Okay. Oh shoot, I should have used this card. I totally forgot about this card, the shift 2. That's a good thing I didn't, because I rolled a 3, so that still wouldn't have been any good. I'll use that for my last stand, I guess. So yeah, I've got to get these guys off of here or I'm going to lose. So that's it for that. So now I get 3 actions. 1, 2, 3. So a hand-to-hand attack. Okay, so that's good. I don't have anybody. Well, you know, it's probably better to move. These guys are tougher. That's an equal. So let's move those guys in, and I can move these guys in here. Although this guy would be a shift 3. Well, shift 3, but it's a 3 times. So not great. Okay, so let's use an action. Let's move these guys here to attack, and they'll get a shift 2 on an equal. So I'm burning this card. Shift 2 on an equal is human advantage times 2. Okay, human advantage times 2. 5. Well, dice are turning against me again. 5. So I do win that battle though. So they take 2 damage and I only take 1, and I'm tough. So they'll take 2. So they're flipping and I get them out of that space, which is the more important thing. And I get to roll to see if I take that damage. And I do. Throw those dice away. Okay. And now I gotta shore this up. So what do you know what? How many actions do I got left? I can do a heal. Sniper's probably not the best person to put in there. Heal. Second, and that brings this down. Second action. Heal. Bring that down again. Third action. A free action to go out into the town center, and then use my last action to get him in that. Oh, shoot, I got too many holes to fill here. I got these guys coming up here. Yeah, not much I can do about that. Don't have any more actions. Don't have any bullets. Man, I'm in all kinds of trouble here. Yeah, lots of trouble. Okay, that's the best I can do. I'm going to have to wait till next turn, and hopefully the green track doesn't trigger twice. And I'm okay, because this guy would be easy to get out of here. He's only on 1 damage. See what we got here. Oh, that's the worst time to get one of these. Conduct this special turn only. So increase the infection. All tracks activate with each Zeds unit advancing 1 space only. However, if a Zed unit activation results in a combat that it wins, it immediately advances again. Repeat as necessary. After activating all Zeds units, this special turn is over, and then redraw the next event card. So we don't get any actions. So all tracks activate with each... Okay, so let's start with blue. Oh, this could be it. Yeah, if they win this fight, the game's over. So we'll just start with this track, the blue track here. Because if they win this fight, they'll advance again and they'll win. So this is a... So what do we got here? 3, 8. So that's a ×2. Shift 2 is an equal. Oh, but I can do my trap. But no, that's not going to help me. Trap... Well, if I do a trap, well, then if I do a trap, there's no way that they can activate again. If I win the trap. But then it'll be really hard to get them out of this space. I'm just going to go for it. Equal roll for the game. Let's go. Last stand time. That does not look at 7. 7 on an equal is a win. 2 and 2. So take that guy out. This guy retreats into a bigger, scarier mob. This guy's dead again. And he's saved again. Okay, so that was the blue track. Okay, so let's do the yellow track. Where are these guys? So they're going to attack here. These guys are moving one here, so infection up on. This is ×3. No shift here. This is definitely going to be a win. You're looking incredible roll to not get taken out here. 4. No, that's 9, sorry. So take this guy's dead. Do the saving roll. Did save. Hospital's filling up. It's going to get an extra activation. Okay, so that's that track. Okay, so let's do this track now. Move this ahead. Move this. So at least there's no fight happening here, so they're not going to move ahead. Okay, so we got this one. Oops, that's my guy. So we got 2 fights happening here. Okay, so let's do this one for the game. So that's a human advantage ×2 with a shift 2. So human ×3 should win this one, unless I roll really bad. 7. Yeah, that's a win. That's a 3 damage, so that guy's dead. Okay, and then this one. So Zeds ×2, and I think I got a shift 1. So Zeds advantage. 4. Yeah, that's not good. That's not going to be good. Zeds advantage on a 4. 3 damage. This guy's gone. Unless he can make a saving roll. Which he did. Okay, so these guys move another space. Okay, and that's it for that special card. I think I activated everything. And then we do another turn, but we're at an hour and a half here, so I'm going to stop here. I mean, this is a loss. I'm not going to hold out here. I mean, I guess I could move these guys in here and shore up, so I might be able to hang on a little bit longer. I mean, how many cards do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I might be able to hang on for a bit longer, but yeah, at least you got a really good idea how this game works. So it's a lot of fun. You know, I was playing fast, so you know, if you're thinking about it more, maybe I make smarter moves and stuff like that. But I was trying to see if I could get the game done. But yeah, it's just a bit longer than an hour and a half playing fast like that. But like I said, yeah, that was level 1. So level 2, you just add there's basically a pandemic kind of mechanic that gets added with chaos, where the rioting starts happening in towns where Zeds are, and they go into chaos, and we get too much chaos on the board, then you lose. And the infection works with the chaos too, because it's the closest to space with chaos in it. And then you can also build barricades. And then also every level you go up introduces new characters that you can use and new cards in the event deck, so the event deck gets harder and more interesting. I think level 3, you add in kind of like NPCs, so you get these raiders that are like neutral guys. They fight the zombies or you, and then you get the National Guard comes in and helps you at some point. So, and then when you get to I think level 4 is you get to research a super weapon that could wipe out the Z infection. So that's pretty cool. So that adds research and that kind of thing in. And I think level 5, you flip this board over, and then there's an underground track that has new movement rules. And so you've got 5 tracks to worry about instead of 4 tracks. And then I think the final level it's the director's cut level, and I think it just makes everything harder. So yeah, that's how this game works. As usual, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.